Now, I may be the one dressed like a clown, but we need to set some things straight, okay? Real quick. If you're sending me this screenshot here of the Google search for the cast of Doctor Strange 2, that is not accurate. Google messes this up all the time. Back when Endgame was going to come out, we had this whole same situation where it said Hugh Jackman was going to be part of the movie, and he wasn't. Google just uses their search engine instead of actually looking up who's in the movie, so that's not true. Ryan Reynolds or Andrew Garfield, not in Doctor Strange 2. Also, if you're sending me this screenshot here of a supposed leak of Jamie Foxx in the Electro costume, that ain't real either, son. That was a test photo done for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and someone repainted it green and yellow. And yes, I did notice a Tom and Jerry trailer leaked online, but I'm not going to talk about it till we get the official trailer, because that's how I want to see my Tom and Jerry in official glory. But now that we got the clown stuff out of the way, let's get on with the show. Appreciate you guys who are clicking on today's side flick. If you're wondering why I'm dressed like a clown, well, earlier today I uploaded a video where I was clowning around and reacted to some negative reviews on my personal favorite movies. If you guys have the time, go ahead and check out that video. It was a lot of fun to make, and it was just a little goofy time for the Spooky Mama month. But here on today's side flick, we've got a lot of movie news to discuss today. In fact, this seems to be like a horror-centric episode because the majority of the news here is related to horror movies. We're going to be talking about Halloween Kills and how Blumhouse has an announcement for the movie coming up soon. We got our first look of the Conjuring 3 and what we can expect there. Even Netflix coming out and announcing that they're giving us a live-action Assassin's Creed. So I'm gonna need you movie fans to leave me your opinions down below on everything we discuss here today. What news got you the most interested? What could you care less about? Alright, before diving into all the horror movie news, we got a couple of non-horror related stories, and this one right here. We did it, gamers. We won! Mark Wahlberg was shown on Instagram going ahead and giving us our first look of the Sully stash from his character Sully in the Uncharted movie. Now, I know there might be some people out there who aren't the biggest Uncharted fans and have no idea, but when Mark Wahlberg was cast for the role of Sully in Uncharted, his character is known to have a pretty iconic looking mustache, and a lot of us fans were kind of disappointed when he was mustacheless in a lot of the set photos. But now it looks like us begging and pleading, he finally caved in and we're getting that stash. There's one important thing to note here. This photo was released just a couple of days ago, so much so that we know Tom Holland is now in New York filming stuff for Spider-Man 3. Really excited for that. And all throughout the shoot, up until this very point, Mark Wahlberg did not have a mustache. They're gonna do the cliched video game thing, the same thing they hit us with in the Sonic movie, where they don't give us a full Robotnik till the end. They're not giving us full Sully until the post-credit scene. Like, I was joking, but it really looks like the post-credit scene for the Uncharted movie will be probably a time jump and Mark Wahlberg Sully having that mustache. And can we really be mad? Is this what we come down to, video game adaptations? How do you guys think of Mark Wahlberg in this Sully stash? Moving on from there, Netflix is making some big moves here in their content creation platform, and they went ahead and announced that Assassin's Creed is gonna get a live-action TV series for the platform as part of their deal with Ubisoft. Now, I'll just say straight off the bat, I'm not the biggest Assassin's Creed fan. I played a couple of the games here and there, but I just couldn't really get into it. Still, I know there's a huge following for this, and the live action movie, some people enjoyed it, some people did not, but this could finally be the proper way to bring Assassin's Creed into live action form through a TV series. It's perfectly built for that. I do like the premise of Assassin's Creed, of these people traveling through time. I think also Netflix is constantly on the lookout for their version of Game of Thrones, just like HBO Max had, and they were hoping that would work with The Witcher, and while they found a lot of success with that, it looks like they want to expand that out even more, and now they're going to Assassin's Creed. Kind of sucks now, because I feel like this means we won't be getting a sequel now to the live action version that we got with Michael Fassbender, but I think this opens the door for a lot better stuff. I just wonder what time period they're going to go to, what's the theme of this going to be, because the Assassin's Creed video games have gone through a wide variety of decades and eras in time. I want to hear from you Assassin's Creed fans. Do you think Netflix is the right platform for this live action TV series? Another thing before we get into all the horror movie news of today, I definitely wanted to talk about this. We have here what looks to be the announcement for not only Creed 3, that it is a for sure thing, it's happening, but Michael B. Jordan, Creed himself, will actually be directing this third installment. I'm actually a really big fan of the Rocky franchise and even the Creed movies to an extension. It's so wild that they were able to capture a spin-off that I feel is just as good good or fits in line with the Rocky movies. And this third one has me the most curious because it seems like they finally cut ties with the Sylvester Stallone character Rocky, and now this film is going to be fully fledged on Michael B. Jordan's character Creed. The second movie surprised me with I feel it being just as good as the first film, so I feel like there's a lot of pressure here for this third one to stick the landing. That way we can have a nice little neat trilogy. I don't think they'd go any further in a fourth or fifth movie. This most likely will be the last Rocky movie for a long time. Off the back of this, if this works out and Michael B. Jordan does a good job, he's also set to produce the Static Shock movie, so I could see him doing a good job here and then him actually directing the Static Shock film that he's also working on. Also kind of poetic because Sylvester Stallone had been known to direct some of the Rocky movies, and now the same thing is happening here with Michael B. Jordan directing the Creed movies. I want to know from you Rocky fans, are you looking forward to Creed 3? What story should they go with? Should they bring back another Rocky villain who has a son or a grandson or a cousin, or should they just give Creed his own villain and arc this time around? One thing off the bat that no one really noticed because it was uploaded to the Warner Brothers YouTube channel as a very long featurette. Inside this featurette, it actually gave us the first look to the Conjuring 3 entitled The Devil Made Me Do It. Now it's only snippets of footage, but still it is our first look of what we can expect to see in this third Conjuring movie. That has me interested but hesitant at the same time since it's not being directed by James Wan. One of the first looks we have here is of the Warren family, specifically Ed Warren rocking a cane. I'm starting to think that this could be the ending finale for the Ed Warren character. I'm thinking with this third Conjuring movie, it's going to be the end of the main storyline, and from now on, Warner Bros. Is going to be focusing on all these other spin-off movies, whether it's another Annabelle, a Crooked Man, a Nun 2 we know is coming out. So that's a sign of aging, but there's another really creepy shot of a super acrobatic kid that they got to looking like he's possessed as hell inside the Warren house. That is going to be a fantastic scene to see in the actual movie. As far as some details in the featurette, this is what they have to say. I really wanted The Conjuring 3 to get away from the whole haunted house setup of the first two Conjuring films. It should be more on a whole different level, something that we've never explored before in the Conjuring world. And I really do like that aspect for this third Conjuring film because the first two were just essentially haunted house movies. This time around, it's dealing with a case of someone who went ahead and blames the devil for their actions. I wonder how that's going to play out through the course of the movie, if it's going to be kind of like a Law and Order episode where we're cutting back and forth from the courtroom, or we're going to see the events go linear and what happened to this man who says he was possessed by the devil. Nonetheless, in the spooky season, I'm just happy to have some Conjuring 3 in my life. How do you guys feel about this first look and the details on Conjuring 3? Something else that I think some people are looking forward to or kind of hesitant on is this whole Evil Dead reboot, or I should say the fourth Evil Dead movie in the franchise. The weirdest part about this whole Evil Dead reboot is that even though Bruce Campbell has confirmed that he's not returning as his character of Ash, he is a producer on the film, and with that, he's been just giving us non-stop details about the movie and what we can expect. This is the latest he had to say about Evil Dead Rise. What we're doing now is we're saying, look, this is another Evil Dead movie, and that book gets around. A lot of people run into it, and it's another story. The main key with Evil Dead is they're just regular people who are battling what seems to be very unstoppable evil. And so that's where the horror comes from. It's not someone who's skilled. They're not fighting a soldier. They're not fighting a scientist. They're not fighting anybody more than your average neighbor. This is going to be a similar thing where we're going to have a heroine, a woman in charge, and she's going to try and save her family. This new Evil Dead movie is really looking to be making a lot of changes to the franchise. Mostly it's been known for kind of being the cabin in the woods horror story. But for this Evil Dead movie, it's going to be taking place in this sort of apartment building high rise, which is where the title comes from, Evil Dead Rise. It's going to be a more modern setting, but like Bruce Campbell says here, these characters stumble upon the book, read some messed up language, and then evil things start happening. I'm very open-minded to this. I again just wish it was part of the Fede Alvarez sequel to the Evil Dead remake because I really think that was a great film. How do you guys feel about Bruce Campbell's comments on this Evil Dead reboot? Of course, it would not be the Halloween season unless we talked about Michael Myers himself and what he's planning to do this Halloween with it basically being canceled. I figured Blumhouse was going to go ahead and do something this Halloween for Michael Myers just because it's the season, man. It's just such a great time to hype people up for your movie, give them little teases. It would be a disservice to the fans if you didn't bring us something this time around. And well, Blumhouse has answered the call. Blumhouse went ahead and announced that they'll be hosting what they call Blumfest, which is a virtual online event. That's just something that's been going on all over 2020, where everyone has these online Comic-Con panels. And during this event, Blumhouse will be streaming through their YouTube channel on Thursday, October 29th at 10 a.m. PT. And they're going to be giving us upcoming looks to some of their movies, including Freaky, The Craft Legacy, but most importantly, Halloween Kills. During this announcement, this is what they had to say on what we can expect. This year has sidelined a lot for all of us, but Halloween is a treasured season at Blumhouse, so we conceived Blumfest to celebrate with our fans via a virtual event that will feature exclusive interviews and never before seen footage on an upcoming release or two, said by Jason Blum, Blumhouse's CEO and founder. Now, I know we had the whole debacle a couple months ago of this Brazilian Comic-Con online that said they would have exclusive Halloween footage, and man, were we devastated when they lied to us. But this is literally coming from the mouth of Jason Blum that this panel will give us sneak previews to some of our movies. So it doesn't necessarily mean we're getting Halloween Kills as one of those movies for the sneak preview, but being that there's only a couple films here listed and it's the Halloween season, and for sure Halloween Kills is their biggest draw to this panel, I have to imagine we're at least getting a little clip, maybe a 10-second teaser, just something letting us know about Halloween Kills to look forward to in the next year. If not, they go ahead and say here interviews and whatnot. So either way, we're going to be getting interviews from people on the Halloween Kills film, and we'll get some details here and there, and that'll always be fun. You know, I'll probably make a video on that. What do you guys want to see out of Blumfest, and do you think they'll show us any footage to Halloween Kills? But that is just all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to know your opinions down below on everything we discussed here today. Don't forget to check out that video I just posted earlier today where I react to some negative reviews. Really would appreciate it. If not, go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe for more movie-related content. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.